Every year, climbers from around the world risk their lives to conquer the two most iconic peaks on Earth, Mount Everest and K2. But here's the chilling question. When it comes to survival, which mountain is deadlier? Is Everest's fame masking its dangers, or does K2's reputation as the savage mountain truly make it the ultimate test of human endurance? Let's dive into the survival statistics, updated data, and shocking truths behind these two giants. Death rates, the cold, hard truth. Let's start with the numbers. Mount Everest has recorded 335 deaths from over 12,884 summit attempts since 1922, resulting in a death rate of 1.11% to 2.7%, depending on the time frame and criteria. In contrast, K2 has seen 96 deaths out of roughly 800 successful summits, giving it a 2% death rate per successful summit, or a staggering 23% fatality rate for climbers who reach the top, meaning nearly 1 in 4 never return. But why is there such a massive disparity? While Everest boasts commercial routes and Sherpa support that have significantly reduced fatalities in recent years, K2's unforgiving terrain and unpredictable weather leave no margin for error. For example, in some years on K2, there have been deaths but no summits, highlighting its extreme difficulty. Question: if Everest has more climbers and more deaths overall, 335 fatalities since 1922, does that make it safer or simply more accessible for those willing to take the risk? Terrain challenges. Everest offers multiple routes to the summit, with the southeast ridge, Nepal side, being the most popular. While dangerous in its own right, with crevasses, avalanches, and the infamous Khumbu icefall, it provides climbers with relatively predictable paths compared to K2. K2's bottleneck couloir is a nightmare for mountaineers. Located just 400 meters below the summit, this narrow gully is lined with hanging seracs, massive blocks of glacial ice that can collapse without warning. A single misstep here can send climbers plummeting thousands of feet to their deaths. Moreover, while Everest's routes are often equipped with fixed ropes and ladders by Sherpa teams before each season begins, K2 offers no such luxuries. Climbers must navigate steep ridges and technical ice walls with minimal external support. Question: does Everest's infrastructure make it less dangerous, or does it create a false sense of security for inexperienced climbers? Weather, the unseen killer. Both mountains are notorious for their deadly weather conditions, but they differ in critical ways. The weather on Everest is harsh but somewhat predictable. Climbers rely on short weather windows during May and October, when winds calm down and temperatures rise slightly. However, sudden storms still claim lives, like the tragic 2014 avalanche that killed 16 Sherpas in the Khumbu icefall. K2's weather is far more volatile. Sudden snowstorms and hurricane-force winds can strike without warning. Unlike Everest, where climbers often have days to prepare for bad weather, K2 offers mere hours or even minutes before conditions turn fatal. In fact, many climbers describe K2 as having its own microclimate, making it nearly impossible to predict safe climbing periods. Altitude and oxygen. Both mountains push climbers into the death zone, above 8,000 meters, where oxygen levels are critically low. However, on Everest, supplemental oxygen is widely used by commercial expeditions. About 47% of deaths occur among those attempting to summit without oxygen. On K2, fewer climbers use supplemental oxygen due to its technical challenges and remoteness. This increases the risk of altitude sickness and hypoxia, a condition where lack of oxygen leads to confusion, hallucinations, and ultimately death. Furthermore, prolonged exposure in these high-altitude environments causes frostbite and exhaustion. For instance, during K2's infamous 2008 disaster, which claimed 11 lives, many climbers succumbed not to falls or avalanches, but to sheer physical collapse while descending. Question: is climbing without supplemental oxygen an act of bravery or recklessness? Survival statistics. While Everest sees hundreds of summits annually, 861 in 2024 alone, K2 remains far less trafficked due to its difficulty. In fact, only about 400 people have ever summited K2, compared to over 7,200 individuals who've summited Everest multiple times. On average, for every 4 people who reach K2's summit safely, 1 dies trying, a statistic that dwarfs Everest's fatality rates. Cultural perspectives. Why do they climb? For many climbers, reaching Everest's summit represents a personal milestone, a chance to stand on top of the world. However, critics argue that Everest has become overly commercialized, with guided tours costing upwards of $70,000 per person, and some operators cutting corners. Many inexperienced climbers attempt the peak each year. On the other hand, K2 attracts only seasoned mountaineers seeking a purer challenge. Its remote location on the Pakistan-China border deters casual adventurers. As American mountaineer Jake Meyer puts it, K2 isn't just harder, it demands respect. Question: is Everest losing its mystique as a mountaineering challenge or evolving into something new entirely? Final verdict: which mountain is deadlier? While Mount Everest claims more lives overall due to sheer volume of climbers, K2 remains statistically deadlier by a wide margin. Its combination of technical difficulty, unpredictable weather, and lack of infrastructure makes it one of the most dangerous places on Earth. But perhaps the real question isn't which mountain kills more, it's why we continue to climb them at all. Is it for glory, adventure, or something deeper? A need to confront our limits in the face of nature's raw power? As you ponder this question, remember, every step taken on these mountains is a gamble with life itself. What do you think? Would you dare attempt either peak? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe channel.